Well, good morning, everyone. So glad to have you in the room and help with your county government. I'll ask for the list from the marshal. Thank you. And this time I'll call the Paulding County Board of Commissioners work session for February. Thank you. For February the 13th to order. And if you got a mobile device, it'd be a good time to silence that. If you'll stand with me, we'll have a prayer and pledge the flag. Gracious God, we shall bow humbly before you, just thanking you for a new day, thank you for a beautiful day, and thank you for the people in this room that make the county happy or happen, and we thank you for law enforcement and pray for our public safety. We don't want to use just our own wisdom. We call on your wisdom this morning that in the decisions that we make, that we would just be concerned about and considerate of what you would lead us to do. Pray these things in Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The January 23rd, 2024 work session minutes and the January 23rd, 2024 board meeting minutes are available for your review. Available on the back table if you're new and haven't been here. Team Paulding, the video that we have this month is of the Employee of the Month, Miss Maddie Stone, with the Solicitor General's office. So let's look at that together.
Madison Stone, we call her Maddie. I've known Maddie. I worked for the Cobb County Solicitor's Office before I came to Paulding, and she was an administrative assistant there in Cobb, one of the best ones we had. And then she came over to Paulding. I talked her into it. I called her up. I said, hey, I don't know if you're looking for a job, but if you are, we need people over here, and we need people who know what's going on and know how these kinds of offices function. But Maddie does everything in this office. So she answers the phones, she works the front desk, she does all the administrative stuff for the traffic calendars. It's tough anywhere nowadays to get any recognition for the hard work you do. So, and I wanted Maddie to know, I don't know if she ever gets to find out, but I wanted her to know that I thought she does a really good job. And she's a good friend of mine. Like I said, I've known her for about 4 years now. So I just thought it was important that she knew that we thought she was doing a really good job for us. She's one of the best people I've ever worked with in all my years of working. So she's just, she's one of the best we have.
Congratulations, Maddie. No invited guests this morning. Bid awards. Item 2 is discuss action to authorize the chairman to enter into an agreement with AAA Landscape Management LLC for the fiscal year 2024 county side shoulder maintenance services contract. This is in the amount of $869,085. The contract provides multiple cycle for mowing, trimming, litter pickup for 520 miles of county roads and 21 miles of 4-lane state highways. The contract will be funded through our general funds, and Mr. George Jones to enlighten us some more.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. As you said, Chairman, the county contracts mowing on approximately 520 miles of county roadways and 21 miles of 4-lane state divided highways. The work includes mowing, trimming, and litter pickup. The previous contract we had ends next month, and so we advertised for contractor services. The 2024 mowing and shoulder maintenance project was advertised and had a bid opening on January 26, 2024. 3 contractors submitted bids for the work. The lowest responsive bidder was AAA Landscape in the amount of $869,085. $869,085.00. The item is for the awarding of a 1-year contract for performing the right-of-way maintenance services for the county, which does include the mowing, trimming, and litter pickup. The mowing and trimming on the 2-lane county roads will be performed up to 4 times per year in the growing seasons. The mowing and trimming and litter pickup on the 4-lane state divided highways will occur up to 3 times per year. In addition, this contract has the option of funding 3 cycles of litter pickup in the non-growing winter season months on both the county roads and the 4-lane state divided highways. The cities have participated in this contract in the past and have agreed to participate tentatively on this contract. Dallas for their portion of US 278 through their city limits, Hiram for their portion of US 278, also including their section of Nebo Road. Funds will be allocated from general funds, and the contract does have an option to renew up to 2 more years, provided the county does want that service. The previous contract price for this work was $854,622 in 2021. So this price that we received from AAA is a little bit less than 2% increase. So, any questions?
George, just in the last week or so, I've just really noticed a tremendous amount of trash on some of the county roads. What is there a way to get a list, like if I get with you to see the last time some of these roads that they have picked them up? That makes sense. It had been on that.
Yeah, absolutely. We have that list of when, the roads that are these 520 miles of the county
Right.
roads, and also the state divided highways when they were last picked up. With the contract right now, they're being picked up 7 times per year. Y'all can do the math. It's a little bit less than once per month. As you know, some roads you can pick it up one day and the next day you go out and it looks like it hasn't been picked up. But there is definitely a litter pickup, a litter problem in the county. We're a little behind right now, the contractor, due to the wet weather. But like I said, it's 7 times they pick up on these roads. But yes, I can get together with you on that and show you the list of roads and when they were last picked up.
Right, thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes. George, do we have any other contracts besides this one with anybody else for this same thing in different parts of the county?
We do have a turf mowing contract with Kelly Landscape. That provides mowing on like turf areas where the county has planted turf on roadway projects. I believe that's about 66, 67 acres of turf, and also the associated roadway sides. A lot of the roads, it's kind of like US 270 out here, by Seaboard in front of this building, Cedar Crest Road, Bill Caruth Parkway. So some of the areas are double covered, some are not. But yes, we do have that available, and that provides in-season mowing and litter pickup 17 cycles, and then the off-season, again, 3 cycles of litter pickup. So again, the county is expending a good amount of money and funds towards litter pickup. Unfortunately, roads don't litter. It's the people driving the roads that litter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The contract term on this is for 1 calendar year. Is that right, George?
Yes, sir, it is. We have the option to renew at the discretion of the county if we're happy with the services, if we think the price is good. If we weren't happy, we could say we do not wish to renew, and we could re-advertise again, or for whatever reason we want.
So those renewal options, do they have cost of living increases or adjustments in them?
They do not. It's
They do
simply this
not.
bid that we have right here, so it stays for up to 2 more years at that price.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.
We don't have any reports from our committees or departments this morning. No one signed up here with the list that the marshal brought forward for agenda items. Moving into the consent agenda, consideration of several items of surplus. So let me just read it. Item 3 is declare the following items as surplus and approve their disposal through auction or trade. I know y'all'd like for me to read all these serial numbers, but they're available on the back table. And our county clerk said I didn't have to read them. No, so that's item 3, all those vehicles and other equipment. Item 4 is to accept the following streets for perpetual maintenance by the county. The Holly Farms Court, in Riverwood, Phase 2, Unit 3, the Dewdrop Point, the Dewdrop Lane, and the Rushing View Glen. And in Nature Walk at Seven Hills, Unit 3, Phase 5A2, the Azalea Crossing, Lavender Court, Riverwalk Manor Drive, Rosemary Landing, and Violet Lane. And item 5 is to appoint Rita Norris to fill the unexpired term of Paula Binion Ketchum on the Paulding County Board of Health with a term ending December 31st, 2028. And I'll ask the post commissioners if they would like to move any of these consent agenda items to new business. Hearing no one desiring that, we'll leave them in the consent agenda. Old business, none this morning. New business, item 6, to discuss action to authorize the chairman to enter into the local government lighting project agreement, LGLPA, with the Georgia Department of Transportation for the roundabout project located at State Farm 101 at Gold Mine Road. It's project number 0019669. The funds will be allocated from the general funds and SPLOST funds together. The project's located in Post 2, and we've got Mr. Jones again to tell us some more about that.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, right, Dave? But again, like I said, the county has initiated a single-lane roundabout project at the intersection of State Route 101, Gold Mine Road, Crossroads Church Road, Holly Springs Road, located in Post 2. Preliminary engineering design has progressed at this point. At this time, GDOT has requested the county approve a local lighting agreement with GDOT. This lighting agreement states that the county will pay for all equipment and lighting costs for the roundabout. GDOT has awarded the county $2 million of funding towards the construction of this project. The lighting agreement itself is for 50 years. Equipment for the lighting will be paid for by SPLOST, while the monthly electrical power charges will be paid through general funds. And again, I think if anybody doesn't know about the project, it is a single-lane roundabout at 101, Gold Mine, and Holly Springs, making that into a roundabout. And there's also a left turn lane added on Crossroads Church Road onto Crossroads on 101. So I think it's a good project. If anybody's been out through there, it's somewhat of let's just say it's a non-standard intersection layout. So
Just curious, all our roundabout, we have quite a few roundabouts now, a lot more planned. What constitutes whether they get the lighting or not?
I believe for the most part, when you're talking on state highways, major roadways, you want lighting because as you're coming into a traffic circle, you're slowing down and you're making turns. So to be able to, at night, to be able to see, navigate your way through the area, lighting is highly recommended for roundabouts.
Any other questions for George? Thanks, sir. All right, go ahead.
I have a question on the lighting. Is it possible to use like solar lighting instead of running power?
We can look into it. I believe they're going to want something that's absolutely reliable in terms of electrical service, because you don't want, if there's days of low solar. The problem with solar devices, as we've utilized on some traffic control devices for beacons and such, especially in the winter months, or if there's shade, they don't get charged enough and then they don't work. So I think the reliability might be an issue with the solar. So we could look into it, but that's just my initial thought on that.
With LED lighting in the day's times, do you even have a clue on an average bill for intersection?
Again, they basically vary by the different power service providers. In this county, you've got Cobb EMC, Greystone. Out there, it'd be Carroll EMC. We'd have to look to see what they charge per light. But obviously, LED lights, they consume quite a bit less energy than the traditional incandescent.
What's the timeline?
Well, at this point in time, the progress chart with GDOT shows a construction advertisement for the end of year 2024. So I think you're looking at probably October, November at this point in time. Again, that can change as we go along and if we don't meet certain milestones, but at this point in time, that's what it shows.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
New business item 7 is discuss action to approve the payment of $1,077,272 for the county's participation in the Legacy Point Phase 3 outfall to ResiBuilt. This purchase is funded through the Renewal and Extension Fund. The project's located in Post 4. Mr. Ray Wooten's up to report.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
The Upper Possum Creek outfall was part of a development agreement that was done way back in 2005. The county required basically a 15-inch main to be put in instead of an 8-inch main. In 2018, Hybris Properties LLC acquired the property, and the development agreement was forwarded to them, and they were prepared to build the property. The property then got transferred over to Legacy, which it became the Legacy outfall and same thing as the Upper Possum Creek outfall. And ResiBuilt came in and blasted all the rock, put everything in place prior to having a development agreement pushed forward. So we took their prices, broke down all the numbers they had, and reworked it. And the county's participation has been on the other contracts at 66.7% plus rock. After we worked our numbers, we came up with a value of $1,077,272, which is below the 66.7% and rock cost because they had already begun construction before we sat down to meet. And that's why we are coming before you today to ask for the reimbursement pursuant to what the county has received above and beyond what the Legacy 3 development would be responsible for, of which was the county's original participation is 66.7%.
Any questions for Ray? Appreciate it, Ray.
Okay, thank you.
Item 8 is discuss action to authorize the chairman to enter into a supplemental agreement with Heath and Lineback Engineers in the amount of $24,000 for additional preliminary engineering design services for the roadway extension of Harmony Grove Church Road near Westbrook Creek to the Crossroads Middle School campus. Funding will be allocated from SPLOST, and this project's located in Post 1. Pretty exciting to join to this middle school.
On June 28, 2022, the Board of Commissioners approved entering into a contract with Heath and Lineback Engineers in the amount of $147,387.74 to provide preliminary engineering design services for a 0.47-mile roadway that will begin at the intersection of Cedar Crest, Harmony Grove Church Road and extend now to the Crossroads Middle School property located in Post 1. Design plans have progressed, and the project is currently being advertised for construction services with an opening date on March 1st. To finish up the design plans, additional engineering services are warranted, which are outside of the original scope of services. These items include adjustments to striping and paving, sidewalks, cross-sections, drainage, utility impacts, and modifications and design rework with the commercial developments that are adjacent to this proposed roadway. We have a draft development agreement with the owner of the commercial developments adjacent to the project. The cost for the additional engineering services is $24,000, and funds will be allocated from SPLOST if approved.
Is this a 2-lane road?
Yes, sir. 2-lane road, 30-mile-per-hour design.
Sidewalks?
Sidewalk on one side of the road. Absolutely.
They open in August, right? Any questions? Thank you, George. Appreciate it. Item 9 is discuss action to adopt ordinance 2024-02, text amendment amending Title I, which is administration, and Title II, which is zoning of the Unified Development Ordinance for Paulding County, Georgia, the UDO, and for other purposes. Ms. Ann Lippman.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. This Ordinance 2402 is culmination of a project we've been working on since last August, a 180-day moratorium on acceptance of rezoning and plans for gas stations with convenience stores was adopted back in August, and we have been doing research. This ordinance changes the text that was recommended by the Planning Commission at their meeting in January, and affects some definitions. It affects the commercial zoning districts, and the major change is to require gas stations as well as tobacco and e-cigarette type retail stores to get a special use permit in the B1 and B2 and I1 zoning districts. I'd be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Thank you. Item 10 is discuss action to adopt ordinance 2024-03, amending Chapter 6 of the official Paulding County Code to allow for the on-premises consumption of malt beverages, distilled spirits, and other wines at farm wineries. And our county attorney, Mr. Jason Phillips, is going to tell us about it.
Commissioners, we have an existing farm winery ordinance which allows people that have a state farm winery license and they basically are engaged in farm winery operations here in the county to get a license to do that, and it's going to, as it stands right now, it's going to authorize them, or it authorizes them, to sell the wines that they produce for package, to sell it out to customers. It also allows those wines to be consumed on the premises. 3 Strands and I think Qualusi are a couple of examples of those, and those may be our only licensees in the county with a farm winery license presently. This amendment will allow them, in addition to the wines that they produce, it will allow them to serve other wines on their premises as well as beer and distilled spirits. It will not allow package sales of those additional items, and any beer, other wines, or distilled spirits that they allow to be consumed on the premises by this ordinance amendment, they will have to be purchased from a licensed wholesaler. Happy to answer any questions y'all may have.
Jason, on the backup, a little further explanation. The hour, I'm just going to read it. The hours of sale for a farm winery shall be the same times as retail, I guess that's on-premises consumption licenses. So that just limits the time based on, well, you tell me.
That basically where a restaurant can serve, the times that a restaurant can serve, that will be the same times that a farm winery can serve. Doesn't allow them any more time or any less time.
So if a restaurant stays open till 1 in the morning?
I would defer to the marshal's office on when they can serve. When they're open is a different item, but when they can serve is a different matter. Service time, I think, is expanded, and I don't know off the top of my head when it ends, but I know that it is capped. There are certain hours that they're not permitted to serve.
Well, I know 3 Strands or Qualusi won't stay up till 1 a.m.
Well, I do believe, I mean, I think it used to be like 11:45 is what it used to be. I don't know if it's changed, but as far as like them staying open, I know they don't stay open near that late because they're in a different type of setting in a commercial setting.
Well, that's a good reminder that other restaurants do have a county limit.
Morning.
Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
typically, I believe it's 12:30. I could double check for you on that, but typically it's 12:30, depending on the day. Sunday, I believe it's 11:30, but I can get that information to you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
Other questions?
All right, moving to item 11, let's discuss action to approve the increase to the Motorola P25 radio project in the amount of $101,496.13 to increase the Richland Creek radio tower to accommodate 3 cellular carriers in addition to the contractual loading and future growth factor. Mr. David Mumford.
Morning. When we were working on the radio project, we awarded the contract to Motorola. Afterwards, when we were doing site walks, we discovered that not only did radio coverage up in the Richland Creek area pretty much non-existent, but according to the employees at the water department, cell phone coverage up in the Richland Creek area is non-existent. And so this will allow us to lease tower space on our tower to up to 3 cellular carriers, and it will increase the not only for the safety of the water department employees and the marshals who are out patrolling the area, but the public when they start using the reservoir. Because right now there's literally 0 coverage, and so this will allow us to lease up to 3 cell carriers. And all this does is strengthen the tower. We have future growth already built into it, but instead of using the future growth, this allows us to strengthen the tower and still maintain our ability to grow in the future for our radio system. And this amount covers the steel and the labor to increase the strength of the tower.
When will all that happen?
It's happening as we speak, so we're in the process, but this is so that we can order the extra steel for the tower. But the orders are being placed, and as we get the permitting approved through community development, we're working on the towers. So I don't know exactly when. We plan on having a groundbreaking up at Richland Creek at some point, but we're waiting until we get some of the stuff up there. So.
Everybody good? No questions? Thanks, sir. That is the conclusion of regular business and public participation on non-agenda items. No one signed up for that either. We do have executive session, but before we go there, would any other commissioners like to make an announcement or anything on your mind?
Mr. Chair, if I can follow up just on the hour question before you commissioners
Okay.
make their announcements.
Yeah, please.
Monday through Saturday, the hours of on-premises consumption service is 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. And then on Sundays, it's 11 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Just wanted to close that loop.
Yeah. Anybody got anything they want to announce this morning or celebrate? Okay. We do have executive session for real estate. We will dismiss from the conference room across the hall. We won't be coming back in this room to adjourn. So all we need now is a motion to adjourn, to go into executive session.
Motion to go into executive session
Second.
for real estate.
We have a motion and a second for real estate, and all those in favor say aye. Aye. Does anyone oppose? We are adjourned into executive session for real estate. Thanks again for coming today.